Hello, everyone. Thank you for registering on italki. I'm Melanie from London, England, and I teach English on italki.com. I guess most of you are quite familiar with italki, but I just want to give you a brief introduction and help you to navigate the site and find the perfect teacher for you. italki is a global language learning community that connects students and teachers like myself for one-on-one online language lessons. Do you know that there are over 10,000 teachers on the platform, and out of them, more than 3,000 teach English? I am one of those teachers, and maybe I'll be seeing some of you soon in my lessons too. One interesting fact that you may not know is that according to research conducted by Queen's University and the University of South Carolina, italki came out as the number one online platform to learn a language. It takes just 19 hours on italki compared to a college semester to move from one level to another in a language. So, if you're a beginner on an A1 level, you can move to A2 within a duration of just 19 hours, compared to the average 45 hours that it takes in college. Think about the time you can save, as well as the money and the convenience of learning from anywhere you want. Why don't you try taking an online lesson with an italki teacher? I'm going to send you a coupon so you can get an extra $10 off your first purchase on the platform. Please note, though, that the coupon will only work for your first purchase, and you need to add the coupon just here. I'm just going to show you the coupon now. So this is where you'll be able to add the coupon. Just here. So you'll add coupon, and you're going to put Melanie. I'm just going to show you how to do it. Oh, okay, we've got a bit of a technical glitch, as you can see. Obviously, this is live, so sorry about this. I'm sorry, I'm not actually on the right page at the moment. So the coupon that you'll add will be Melanie. And here's a coupon here. There you go. So you just add on Melanie. I just want to say hello to anybody who's tuning into us at the moment. And I hope you are enjoying italki. I love teaching here on italki, and I know as well that you're going to love being a student here. We've got wonderful teachers. Okay, so to book an online lesson with any teacher, you do need to get that $10 coupon, which I've now given you. So, what's the best way to get the most out of an online English lesson? The first thing that you need to do is to create a goal for language learning. But then the most important thing is to relax and enjoy your lesson. Ask your teacher if they know of any quick ways to help you with some problems that you have. It might be that you always get confused with using at, in, or on in a sentence. I know that a lot of my students do, even the ones who are quite advanced in their English. Maybe you don't know how to express yourself very well, or it may be in some of the tenses you get a little bit mixed up. You also might find it difficult to pronounce some words, or maybe you lack confidence to have a conversation in English. If you learn some natural phrases, you will instantly sound more fluent. Learning vocabulary and grammar is a great idea for a goal, but try to be as specific as possible. Talk to your teacher about any sentence structures that you might find difficult. If you want to improve speaking and to become more confident, break it down even further. Do you need to improve your pronunciation? Maybe your speed or tone? Don't be afraid to just talk in English. Your goal is to start to think in English and not translate back into your own language. Otherwise, you're never going to sound quite natural because of pauses and wrong structures. I often say to my students that once they can actually almost dream in English, then you really are getting to fluency. Remember that every minute counts, so even a relaxed English lesson needs language goals. Like I said, the big goal is, of course, fluency. But to reach fluency, you have to complete many small goals. If you already know what goals you want to achieve, you can share them with your teacher before the lesson. But if you're not sure, you can always plan your English learning goals with your teacher. By setting clear goals, you will always achieve something at the end of each lesson. So, how do you find the right teacher to lead you to your goal? Now that I've given you a clear idea about creating a goal for learning English, here's how to find the right teacher for you on italki. I'm going to let you in on a little secret that most of my students don't actually know. It's always better to choose filters on italki to find the right teacher. It's not a big secret, but many don't know how to use the filters to find the teachers that will best match them. So now I'm actually going to show you how to find the right teacher. Okay. Oops. Okay, so oh, sorry about this. So yes, a lot of my students will tend to just put in English tutors, but there are lots of different ways that you can actually find a teacher to suit you. There are over 3,000 teachers who teach English. So you can either choose a teacher type, you can even choose as well, well, you can set an hourly rate. Also, as well, you can see if a teacher can also speak your language. And you can choose as well whether or not your teacher is an advanced or native speaker like me. But also, you have the opportunity to use skills. So, from here, you can see popular skills that italki have, so business, and test preparation. As you know, test preparation, you for your test, you actually need to for your test preparation, um, you can do IELTS. You can also have TOEFL, which are the two main tests that you actually need to either further your education in an English-speaking country, or as well if you want to get a job. So just like here, this is where you put test preparation, and also as well, you can then choose whichever test you actually want to take. Also, with the skills, if you've actually got a hobby that you love, or maybe you've got an interest, you could also actually write down your interest in this bit here. For instance, I really love cooking. So just before the lesson, I actually found this teacher. It's really helpful if you've actually got if you can actually find a teacher. Like I said, I'm really sorry about this. Okay, so I found a teacher who actually likes cooking, but she also loves to paint as well. When you actually land on a teacher page, have a look at their video. You'll be able to hear how they speak, whether or not you actually are able to understand them. The teacher will tell you a little bit about them, and also as well how they'll actually take your lessons. You'll also be able to see the language skills that the teacher has, and also the specialities that she teaches. Take a little bit of time as well to read about the teacher. You'll see more about her interests. Just here, her teaching style, the teaching material that she uses. For instance, this teacher uses PDF files, audio files, images and videos and flashcards. You'll also see as well the sort of lessons that the teacher teaches, work experience, and then as well, right at the very bottom, you'll find real reviews from students just like you. Okay, so now if you have any questions that you want to ask the teacher, just use the contact teacher form and ask the question. Or if you're happy, you can book a trial lesson. So use the coupon that I gave you earlier to get the £10 extra. Book a trial lesson. Remember, you have 3 trial lessons that you can use on italki. It really is that simple, and use those trial lessons as well, because you might find that a teacher is better suited to you than another. You might just find that your personalities click. That's one of the that's one of the really good things about actually having a trial lesson. Okay, so now that you've booked your lesson, the next thing that you need to do, okay, so you've booked your trial lesson. Um, how do you actually get the most out of an online English lesson? Well, firstly, make sure that you have everything ready to succeed in the online lesson, including any materials that you might need, like your passwords. Don't forget as well to have your pen and a notebook, and that you're sitting in a comfortable and quiet place without any distractions. If you want, have a cup of coffee or tea. That's such an English thing, isn't it? By your side to help you feel relaxed during the lesson. English language learning is made up of 4 parts. You've got your listening, speaking, reading, and writing. To become fluent in English, all of these skills need to be strong. So that means you have to spend time working on each skill. This is very important because most people tend to be better at 1 or 2 skills and only focus on those instead of spending time improving all 4. For example, if your English reading skills are really good, but you don't speak very often, you are guaranteed to improve your speaking with online lessons on italki, because each lesson is one-on-one and personalised just for you. If you're not quite sure what you need to work on, you can ask your teacher what they think. Your teacher will be able to correct your mistakes, which might include ones that maybe you haven't even noticed before. By talking about subjects that interest you, we can help you use English more naturally. And we can even send you learning materials to you too, if you want. I have students who maybe like history or geography. Like I said, it just makes for more natural conversation. And that really is the way to improve your language. If you're not sure, you can always plan your English learning goals with your teacher. Ask them questions. Your teacher will ask you questions too, because we want to find out about your interests. I promise that there's nothing to be worried about here. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. I often think that actually making mistakes, it really helps you learn. But there's nothing that you need to worry about, because there really is only you and your teacher in the lesson. Learning on italki is perfect if you feel nervous talking in front of lots of other students in a classroom, because you're in a safe environment with a teacher who wants to build your confidence with conversations that are real, natural, and interesting or relevant to you. All of the teachers on italki come with experience of teaching beginners, just like you. Will encourage you at a pace of learning that is perfect for you. Or if you're intermediate to advanced in English, then you can immediately start speaking to the teacher who will be able to assess your level and provide you with a plan to get the best results. By setting specific, clear goals, you will always achieve something at the end of each lesson hour. Before a lesson that is focused on speaking, think and write down in English a few sentences to start a conversation. Or maybe think of some questions that you want to ask your teacher. That will save you time before moving on to new topics. If your teacher is offering you a learning resource, like a TV show, which I often do, or a textbook that you're not really interested in, don't be scared to ask for something else. Don't be scared. That's the key word. The teachers on italki are prepared to guide you in every step of your journey and are ready to create a language journey for you. Everyone learns differently, and your English teacher will have many resources and materials. For instance, I do my own learning material, so I will send you those. I maybe send you a song to listen to so that you can really listen and actually hear all of the words that are in the songs. A lot of my students as well love Harry Potter. So I might say, okay, well, listen to and watch a Harry Potter movie. So you can even find your own materials as well if you have something in English that you already love. You can even ask to record the lesson. Some of my students ask me, and I'm always more than happy to agree to it. Listening again to the lesson that you've had with a teacher will help make your memory about the topic stronger, and also it will help you to understand your teacher's pronunciation better. So, how to create a language learning plan and stick to it? When I first meet a new learner, obviously I like to talk to them and help them get relaxed, but then I like to do a speaking and listening test, which I base on real conversation. I can quickly find out any areas that they may need to practice on. It might be different tenses, learning a few phrases, practicing pronunciation. Again, in English, there's a lot of literature and a lot of poets and poems. Also, some really good tongue twisters as well that really help with pronunciation. The best thing about italki is that every lesson is individual and it's made just for you. You might want to learn English because you're traveling. English is that international language that everybody knows. Maybe you are moving to a new country for a new job, or because you're going to university, or it could just be that language learning is your hobby and English is such a wonderful language to speak. Listen to the advice of your teacher. We all have a lot of experience and want you to succeed. But above all, we want you to enjoy the journey of learning English. The fastest possible way to move from one level to another is to immerse yourself in English as much as you can. do it by reading, watching YouTube channels and TV programs, listening to the words on your favourite songs, listening to the radio, writing a diary. Just practice every day, even if it's only for 10 minutes. But also, it's to have a lesson, a regular lesson, at least once a week with your teacher on italki. Talking is the fastest and most natural way to learn a language. It makes it come alive. And with italki, you have the opportunity to have real conversations with teachers who are able to explain to you properly how to construct sentences so that they are natural, and we can help you with your pronunciation so that you will feel more confident. Okay, so I hope you've now got a clear idea about how to get the most from your online English lesson. I'd like to thank you for your time and patience. If there are any users joining in late, I want to share a special coupon for learning English on italki with any teacher. It's from me to you. I'm going to send it to you again in the comment section so that everyone can see it. Please remember, though, that it will only work for your first purchase on italki. It won't work if you've already taken a lesson with the teacher on italki before. You can either save it or use it now to book your first lesson. Okay, so I'm now available for any questions that you have regarding learning English. Please write any comments and I'll answer your questions. So I'm just going to send you the comment again. There you go. Okay, so hello, Natasha. And we've also got Susanna. Hello, Susanna. Hello, everybody. Where are you all from? And also, why are you learning English? Hello, Mr. Kingston. The best way to prepare for an IELTS exam. I actually have quite a few students who prepare for their IELTS exam. I think with your IELTS, to actually help get your score up, you need to learn quite a lot of phrasal verbs and idioms. Obviously, as well with IELTS, you are going to find that each lesson, the actual exam, is going to be about you a lot of the time. It's not to be worried, and it's just to get a lot of practice. Again, with italki, because it is a speaking platform, you're going to find that you're naturally just going to become a lot more confident for your long speaking part. So there's lots of resources that you can find on YouTube, just listening to listening to radio programs, watching the TV. I hope that's helped. Hi, Terrell. Um, Gosh, are you going to, I'm not going to say the name. Egg McMuffin. I love it. Well, you only have one egg in a McMuffin. So I'm assuming that you want two. So it's egg McMuffins. Please go and buy me one. Hi, Natasha. Yes, I'm a teacher here on italki, and I've been a teacher here for 2 years. As I said, I just love it. There's a wonderful we've got wonderful teachers on here, wonderful students, and I know as well that you're going to really just love, um, learning on italki. Hello, Lilliput. How are you? Has anybody got any more questions that they'd like to ask me? I'd love to know where you're all from. As I said, I'm in London, in England. Hi, Nikita. Um, you're in Japan and a driving teacher. Wow. Nikita from Ukraine. You're very curious about English and Ireland in general. Okay, so you actually want to go to Ireland. Um, well, Ireland, Southern Ireland, is actually a different country to to the UK. England, well, Great Britain is actually made up of England, where London is obviously the capital, and then we have Scotland and Wales. So that part is actually Great Britain. Then we also have Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland, all of Great Britain actually make up the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Do we have any other questions? Okay, somebody's asked me, how do you get familiar with a British accent? Well, for saying how small England actually is, we do have a lot of different accents. Believe it or not, sometimes I even find it a bit difficult to understand accents. So the easiest thing to do is to watch British programs. You just need to familiarize yourself with them. That really is the easiest way. I hope you're all going to use the coupon that I sent you. Like I said, you can use it for a trial lesson. You can only use it once though, but it is an excellent way just to find a teacher who's the right fit for you. Do we have any other questions? Has anybody gone and bought me that McMuffin yet? Though actually it's gone breakfast time, so can't have one of those. A really good way that I find, and it's just a bit of a tip that I actually give to my students who probably they just need to work on their pronunciation a little bit, is to try something called a tongue twister. It's a little bit like a little poem, I guess, that we're taught as children. Um, why don't you try this one? I'm going to say it first quite quickly, and then I'll say it a little bit slower so that you can practice along with me. Okay. So, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where's the peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked? It might not make much sense, but it's not meant to, and it's actually meant to make you laugh. Um, And actually, it's called a tongue twister because it really does get your tongue into a twist. But it's an excellent way to work on your pronunciation. So let's try it. Let's do it slowly together. Okay, line by line. It's Peter Piper. Peter Piper. That's the person. Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where's the peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked? You might already know that. We also have one as well if you find the sh and s sound difficult. Okay, and it's called She Sold. No, sorry. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. It's quite a difficult one to do. I know that a lot of people find that quite difficult. She sells seashells on the seashore. Have a practice, and it's meant to make you laugh as well. So that's one thing that we're taught from really small children. Does anybody else have any more questions for me? Whenever as well you meet a native English speaker, especially British English, I'd say, it's always all right to talk about the weather. That's because the weather tends to change very often in England. Believe it or not, it was really foggy here in London today. And now we've actually got brilliant sunshine. Sometimes as well, even on a summer day, you can go out just wearing your summer clothes and then it will be raining and we might have thunderstorms. So it's all right to say, hello, how are you? And we often say, yeah, nice weather, isn't it? It's always a really good way just to sort of, what we say, break the ice. Yes, it is in Japan, driving is just saying it's quite a hard thing to say. Yes, I agree. It is hard to say, but it is fun. So just practice those. We'll do it again together. Let's do she sells, and we'll say it really slowly. Oh, hi, you. Hi. I hope I pronounced your name right. So, she sells. Let's break it down. She sells seashells on the seashore. So, the seashore is the beach. So, it's she sells seashells on the seashore. I hope you're practicing with me. Obviously, when we have a lesson, the lessons take place either on italki platform, on Skype, or I also use Zoom, which if you probably haven't got very good internet connection, it's a really good platform to actually talk on. Also, as well, that way we're going to have a proper conversation. A lot of my learners actually say how nice it is because it feels as though I'm literally just talking to them from across the table. You're at home as well, so Mr. Kingston's asked if I recommend any website with good content to help learn English. Yes, it's called italki.com. Because no matter how much you can read and maybe even listen to English, the only way you can really learn English is by talking. Um, because you're never really aware of how maybe you sound. As I said a little bit earlier, a lot of people, even in England, have very different accents. I've got, I'd say, a British accent, um, a, a South English accent. Maybe I haven't really got one. But yeah, that's really the best way to learn. I hope you're still practicing that seashell. Oh gosh, you see? My tongue even twisted then. She sells seashells on the seashore. And it's to practice the s and sh sound. If we've got anybody who's actually late coming into the lesson, I'm just going to send you a voucher, or sorry, a coupon that you can use to get £10 off. Sorry, £10? Waha! Sorry, to get $10 off your first lesson on italki. Please use it. Like I said, we have some brilliant teachers on here. There are over 3,000 teachers who teach English. You're going to find somebody who's perfect for you. You'll find as well that there are many accents. I'm obviously British English with, like I said, a Southern England accent. But we've got teachers from Wales, Scotland, Ireland, England. If you want British English, obviously you've got American accents, Canadian, New Zealand, Australia, Africa. All of those are English speaking countries. I'm sorry if there's any that as well that I've missed out. Do we have any other questions at all? I hope I maybe see some of you in my lessons. It would be lovely to talk to you. I wish I was able to hear you. Unfortunately, I can only actually read all of the questions that you've sent me. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, well, that's all the time that we've got. It's been lovely to meet everybody. Please use the voucher, which I'm just going to give to you again. It's so that you can get an extra $10 off your first lesson. But please remember that you can only use it for your first lesson. And if you've already actually got money in your wallet, in your student wallet, I don't think it will work. Please use it. It's from me to you. Thank you for your patience. As you can tell, I'm a little bit of a technophobe. So yeah, it was a pleasure and hope to see some of you soon. Bye from England.